Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk to you guys about how sometimes there are individuals in politics who manage to single-handedly ruin a whole city or region or town or country. Sadiq Khan, the lovely dear mayor of London, is one of those characters who's managed to somehow, in a very impressive way, fail on every level, at every area of London governance, from policing to transport to the economy and everything else. It's quite fascinating how he managed, he and his team, to simply just completely fail on everything, yet get away with a lot. The only other example I can think of, the other person who has this much talent to do this, is Nicola Sturgeon in Scotland. It is absolutely fascinating what's been going on in London. As London under Sadiq Khan is completely unsafe. There's absolutely no possibility for progress economically and socially. It's losing its identity more than ever before. And he does his people question time that the mayor, London mayor and the assembly members get involved as well. So London voters and taxpayers can apply to go to this session and ask questions. So you think, oh, this is great for democracy. This is so good. We could hold them to account. Not really, when Sadiq Khan is spending so much money on his PR team to make sure that he's well briefed, to make sure that he knows how to manipulate every question and every answer, to make sure he answers the questions that he wants to. Now, this is quite fascinating because Susan Hall, who's one of the good, sound, Conservative assembly members and in charge of the whole group, get going around to rally the troops. She decided on the panel, sitting right next to Sadiq Khan, almost next to Sadiq Khan, started to expose him and his lies about policing in London. People forget that Sadiq Khan is in fact the police commissioner in London, yet he blames everything on everybody else.
Thank you. I will be quick. And just to make sure that you all do know that Mayor Khan is actually the Police and Crime Commissioner in London, therefore in charge of policing in London. Now, you wouldn't know that if you listened to him because he sits and blames the government for absolutely everything.
So that round of applause is going to go for the next 20 seconds. But then Susan Hall also adds this, which is quite important.
Don't forget, he also has a £19 billion budget, and he didn't mention that London is getting an extra 4,500 officers thanks to the government. But no, it's all thanks to City Hall. Whenever he thinks something good's happening, he'll take credit for it, whether he should or not, and often he should not. And when anything goes wrong, he blames the government.
That was genius. Absolute genius. Well done, Susan Hall, for exposing Sadiq Khan in front of the live audience. Because again, so many people, don't really follow every single thing on BBC News or Sky News. So they don't really see the embarrassment of this mayor. But in reality, when you have these sessions in cities like London, it's the same applies to in Greater Manchester with Andy Burnham and all the others. It's important for people, real people on the ground, to see this in person, to see the true side, the failure, the incompetence, and the dodginess of some of these political leaders who are ruining our country, and nobody is there to actually hold them to account. Now, we could expose them. We could show the hypocrisy. We could show the double standards of how, as Susan Hall said, for example, Sadiq Khan takes credit for everything good that happens, even though sometimes it's none of his business. And sometimes when something goes wrong, like Transport for London, he somehow blames the government, even though he's in charge, even though he goes to beg the Westminster government for more money, for bailouts, just like Nicola Sturgeon in Scotland. Now, make sure to share this video. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to go back and talk to you guys about the problems inside the Tory party, because that's not also the best situation right now these days. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.